Hello, this is Jeff Bell with the Crimson Political Action Council, and I have the pleasure with spending some time with Mr. Mishael White, candidate for Georgia State House District 81. Very glad to have him, and we're going to talk about Project 2025 as it relates to the state of Georgia and as it relates to the citizens of Georgia State House District 81. Which area, what towns and municipalities are within State House District 81?
Thank you for asking that question, Jeff Bell. Again, I appreciate the conversation you're having me on, and I also appreciate the endorsement and support of Crimson Political Action Council. The areas included in the district are Locust Grove, Tussa Hall, Lake Dow, Lake Haven, East Lake, Timber Ridge, Sandy Ridge, and parts of McDonough. And that's a total area. It's a big district, very diverse, has a lot of rural parts, but it has some suburban areas as well.
We're thinking about Project 2025 and the possible, from a federal level, the possible implementation of Project 2025, but many state legislatures are mimicking some of those tenets of Project 2025. How would you suppose Project 2025 or anything like that would impact the residents in District 81?
We know that it would have adverse effects, particularly on people who are on the lower income bracket, and we have quite a few of those types of families in the district, working people as well. Husbands, fathers, mothers, and sisters and brothers. Even if specifically when you're looking at Project 2025, you look at a position extreme as eliminating the Department of Education and what the implication of that would mean on the state level and on the local level for children, most of our children who go to public schools. You're talking about taking funds away from Georgia's public school system that can help to make sure that every child in Georgia and in District 81 has access to quality education, has safe, clean schools to attend. I mean, even if you look at where the United States itself ranks in terms of educational attainment among other industrialized nations, we're not even in the top 10. And with that being, our ranking, you have a position as extreme as, let's not prioritize allocating federal dollars to make sure we're educating our citizens. Let's just abolish that and destroy that arbitrarily. It's not anything that the public has indicated that they want. It's merely a position that is derived solely from an activist agenda by those who are on the far right. And this is a type of policy positions that my opponent, Ms. Nohel Kahanian, supports. And so it's going to be very detrimental to local families and students here in the area.
If you look at the abolition of the Department of Education and just that frame of mind, what does that mean to students with disabilities, whether they be physical and or learning disabilities?
What it actually does is it removes the federal protections that safeguard anti-discrimination practices in our public school education. And what it does is says, okay, well, we're going to put it back to the state level. So what you're actually talking about is this old debate of states' rights versus federal oversight. And so it's a way to try and work around the oversight that the federal government has in place correctly, which was the correct posture of the federal government to make sure that states are operating in an honest way where every child is being prioritized when it comes to education. So just you're talking about children with disabilities. Who's to say what would be done if we don't have any type of federal oversight or monetary support coming from the federal government to make sure that our public school system here in Georgia is investing in things that students with disabilities need.
Exactly. Are there any other elements of Project 2025 that have garnered your attention?
There are, but I'll be honest. I'm a big education guy. And part of that comes from my father. You know, my father, he grew up in the sharecropper South, Reserve, Louisiana, and he was a very austere man, and he pummeled us with get your education. It's about your education. Get your education. So those things stuck with me, even to this day. I'm someone who believes in vocational training, post-secondary school training for students. Look, everyone is not going to be able to go to a four-year university. Some people can't afford it, and look, for some people, it's just not in their life path. Some people, they work better with their hands, or they might be better as a mechanic. So it's my belief that we should be making sure we're prioritizing those types of programs. And when I say prioritize, I'm talking specifically about money. If you look at, for instance, in Georgia with the Hope Scholarship, one of the things that I would be interested in doing is seeing how we can expand access to the Hope Scholarship, expand access to Pell Grants, and find ways that we can incentivize our young men and women who are transitioning out of high school and get them into vocational training programs so that they can have access to the American dream. So my main focus has been education. And the thing that really stuck out to me when it came to Project 2025 was that abolishing the Department of Education. I don't think we're really grasping how extreme of a policy position that is, but it's very extreme.
Yeah. Well, with the Crimson Political Action Council, our policy initiatives stand diametrically opposed to Project 2025 or anything of that nature. And heard you refer to your opponent several times.
Right.
If you were to speak directly to the people and provide a comparison and contrast, why would the independent voter or the voter that has not made up his mind to even go to the polls, what is your comparison contrast to make your case that you are the very clearly better choice?
Well, it's because I'm not an activist. I'm just a working guy, husband, father, and I'm a resident of District 81, and so I know the things that regular everyday working folk care about. We care about having a roof over our head. We care about making sure we have food on the table. We care about making sure that we have access to a quality of life, and we care about making sure our children are going to be able to do better than we did. We care about giving our children a more secure future and a better future. My opponent, I'm not saying that she's a bad person. I'm not saying that she's evil. What I'm saying is she's more of an activist. And I think activists need to stay in the realm of activism. I don't think that political offices exist so activists can get in those offices and then use the office to push their activist agenda. That's not what the job description is when we're talking about state representative for House District 81. We're talking about representing the people, even when you disagree. As the next state representative for House District 81, I'm going to have to listen to the cares and the concerns of those people that I'm at the Georgia General Assembly to represent. And when them and I disagree, I still have to represent them because that's the job description. I'm here to do the job. Some people want a title. I want to do the job. And that just goes back to my blue collar worker instinct. And I look at a position, either I can do the job or I can't do it. And I can do this job. And I intend to do this job as the next state representative for House District 81.
Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you. I really appreciate you. And I look forward to us having another conversation.
Okay. Thank you.